going well. How are you
Oh,
going?
thanks, Kay. Yahoo! Thanks for coming on board, darling. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Good.
nice to see you and nice to be seen.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about, was it? Was it be seen, be heard, be found, get paid, make money, the world's your oyster. Boom, boom.
Eyeline was set.
We are live and raring, guys. Welcome again to the Digital Toolkit 2022. And so you don't have to listen to me, I have this wonderful video we put together. Welcome to the Digital Toolkit 2022. Get the latest buzz on digital tools, tips, and advice from the experts in digital strategy for Australia's small business. Live every Wednesday on Facebook at 1:30 p.m. We can help you work smarter, not harder, when it comes to setting up systems, choosing the right software, and implementing digital marketing strategies that work. So whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, running a small business, building a marketing strategy, or simply learning the ropes to get started, we can help you. Come and join us and road test those new ideas and solutions, ask the tough questions, and get the advice you need to succeed. Join us and get tech savvy today with the Digital Toolkit panel and grow your business online. So quite chuffed about the new video. I think that one's being pushed out across a lot of channels at the moment. So if you've seen that video and you have discovered the Digital Toolkit crew, amazing find for you guys, because you have a wealth of knowledge, brains trust at your disposal. So please do make sure you put your questions in the comments below or in the chat if you've jumped in with us live. And if you've registered for the Facebook event, excellent. This means that you get live updates every time we go live, and where we've got an incredible year lined up with a range of topics, everything that is planned and aimed at small business and helping you grow your business online. So today's session, as you can see, is all about Google. So before I jump in, I would like to let the experts to introduce themselves and what they do for small business and how you can find them. So stopping my share for the moment, I will go by the grid on Zoom. Lynn, you're up first.
So my internet's going in and out, it's a bit hard to hear. But I'm from Business Wellness Hub. So we provide a holistic support for small business, anything from accounting, bus agent, right through to yoga classes to help you de-stress.
And how can we find you, Lynn?
So probably best our website. It's businesswellnesshub.com.au, and you can book a complimentary session with me through that website, and we can have a chat and see how we can customize our services for any small business.
Beautiful. Then if you could share a link in the chat to your website, that would be great. Thank you. And thanks for joining us today. Over to David.
Thanks, guys. David Letizia from Your Business Optimise. We specialise in online sales, so e-commerce stores mainly. Most of our customers also have a physical presence, but we really work on their online presence, building our marketing and sales system that links everything together to optimise any of their paid spend and any of their activities online. So big believer in building a database. Everything we do is based on getting a database of customers and leads and using that to drive your business growth.
Some brilliant advice there, David. And how can we find you?
Website's optimised.net.au, optimised with an s.net.au, or you can find me on LinkedIn under David Letizia.
Beautiful, thanks. And can you please put your link in the chat there, David? Over to Jamin. Thank you for joining us.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to everybody. Obviously, this is number 2, a real first session, I suppose, of all of us. So I'm Jamin Andrews from Kinetics Web Hosting. As the name suggests, we do web hosting. So if you've got a website, we take care of it. We put it in a box on the cloud so that you can basically have the world come and visit and see it. It's nice and secure for you, and super quick. All our servers are located here in Australia. All our support team are Australian, based here in Australia as well. So we conform to tick all the boxes when it comes to data sovereignty, etc. You can find us at kinetics.com.au or 1300 host me. Look, happy to, if you want to just reach out. Even if you're hosting somewhere else, you've got a bazillion and one questions you want to ask about hosting, or you're thinking of this with regards to doing something in the web, reach out. We work with over 200 partners Australia-wide, and we can connect you with one of those as well as these lovely people here today. So yeah, that's me. Thank you. And sorry about the non-haircut thing. I couldn't get in and have one.
No dramas. Thanks for joining us, Jamin. Don't forget to put your URL in the chat, please. And over to the lovely Carly Reading.
Hi everybody, I'm Carly from Inkblot VA. We are virtual assistants located here in Australia, and we provide remote administrative support to small and medium business owners. Our tagline is, we love the jobs you hate. Ultimately, it is the stuff that is sitting in your to-do list that is just not getting your attention. So we love to meet with new people to see how we can make you more efficient, make you more superstars just sitting in your own business. So you can find me. Thank you, Katrina, for the prompt. You can find me at www.inkblotva.com or on socials at inkblotva. I'll pop that in the chat in a sec. And Google My Business today is going to be so exciting because I really need to know what the hell's going on.
Nice. Thanks, Carly. And over to Kay. Thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here for the second session of the year. I'm Kay Ridge at Dash Social. We predominantly do social media. So we tend to do organic content, we do blog writing, we anything to do that's digital and writing, basically, and getting to know your customer. You can find me at www.social.com.au or LinkedIn under Kay Ridge and socials under Dash Social. And I'll put it in the chat as well.
Beautiful. Thanks, Kay. Over to Tyson.
Hello, I'm really excited
Hello.
for today. I'm Tyson from Yodel. We are Australia's most exciting showcase for local business. We help your business to be found in a similar way to Google, but a bit more specific to hospitality retail businesses in that space. We're also doing some incredible stuff with a lot of not-for-profits and councils, chambers of commerce. So if you're in that space, come and talk to us. We can help your business find more customers. If you want to know a bit more, you can download Yodel. It's an app from your device's app store, or go to www.yodelit.co to find out more. And I'll put that link in the comments. Already done.
Beautiful. I love the man who's prepared. Over to Nicole. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here again, third year in a row. Been here since the very beginning. It's very exciting to see the evolution as it goes along. I am a business coach and I help business owners implement smart strategies to run and grow their businesses without burnout, because let's face it, if you're burnt out, you don't have a business. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's probably the smartest, quickest way to do that, and also get an overview on my background and why I'm really well positioned to help you love life and enjoy business as you run and grow it.
Beautiful. Thanks, Nicole. And over to Andrea. Andrea might be on a phone call, so I might jump in there while I have a chance. My name's Katrina. I am from Ranking Australia. So what is Ranking Australia? Essentially, we are your Google business partners. We help you get found on Google. Everything to do with Google. I think Nicole referred to me as what was it?
Google Goddess.
That was it. That was fun. Nice. And now that Andrea's back, if you would like to reach out to Ranking Australia, myself, simply Google us. We'll come up. Over to you, Andrea.
Hey guys, Andrea Anderson, Chief Ideas Specialist for Your Marketing Machines. We are a marketing strategy and communications company who now actually stretches across Australia, and we've officially opened up in New Zealand as well. As marketing strategists, we are the glue between what your goals, what your business goals are. Thank you, team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What your business goals are, what you're wanting to achieve, and more importantly, how marketing can actually help you achieve that. So essentially, as marketing strategists, we look at everything. We are the conductor for your marketing orchestra who intentionally brings every other marketing service, expertise, and knowledge all onto the one song sheet so that we're singing harmoniously for your business success. You can reach me at yourmarketingmachines.com.au, soon to be .co.nz because we're going global, or hey, reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. Looking forward to today, by the way, Katrina. I think this is going to be a fun, exciting conversation for us.
Beautiful. Thanks, Andrea. Please do share your URL in the chat. And I believe we've got Melanie joining us. Welcome, Melanie, Belinda, Jennifer, and Laurie. A huge welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us. I will leave the floor open just quickly if you'd like to tell us who you are, what is your business, and what is your question for today. Laurie, I'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Laurie with Blackline Bookkeeping, and I partner with startups, micro and small businesses to get them started on the right foot, to help them understand their financials, become compliant, stay compliant, and understand their financials ultimately. I'm very, very passionate about this small business person, which is not typically a bookkeeping client, because everybody says, oh, you can't afford them. Can't afford a bookkeeper when you're so small, but that's not true. There's always a way. So yeah, that's just my passion. And yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook. I'm still in the process of getting all that set up, but work in progress. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, no worries, Laurie. Did you have a question in mind, something you'd like to know more about with regards to Google?
I know very little about Google, so I'm here to just learn like a sponge.
Beautiful. That's what we like to hear. Melinda, I combined the two of your names. You're sitting right on top of one another on my grid here. Belinda, welcome. And would you like to introduce yourself, where you come from, and what would you like to find out today?
Hi, I started watching last year. I came back again this year because, you know, it's really interesting and it's good to know what I don't know that I need to know, if that makes sense. I'm from Glitter Haven, so I sell cosmetic grade glitter to nail salons, makeup artists, craft, resin, etc., including just people who just like to have glitter, which should be everybody because glitter is just great. I mean, honestly. I guess being a Google thing, I just want to, check and make sure that I've got all my T's crossed and I's dotted. I don't know what I've got set up and whether it's done right. So it'll be great to see what it should look like and then try and make mine look like that.
Beautiful. Thanks for joining us today, Belinda. And nice to hear your shining voice. Nice, thank you. Over to you, Melanie. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, my name is Melanie Coleman. I'm with Ready to Save a Life. I teach CPR to healthcare providers or anyone who wants CPR training. My question on Google My Business, I have it all set up and I've been using it about 5 years. It's actually great. It's just, how do you enter keywords? I know SEO is a little bit different, but to get a return on reviews or people who's searching on the search engine, how do they how can I install keywords on Google My Business? So not only what my business say I do, but I can actually have people when they Google it, it just sends them straight to that link of mine.
Great question, and a very relevant one for a lot of people, particularly with their Google My Business listings. So without further ado, we might jump straight into it. Jennifer, thank you for joining us. I am sharing my screen. Where are we? Sharing the right screen. Ah, that's the one, of course. Why am I confused? Because it's got Google. I'm thinking it's an app button rather than a screen. That's funny. Okay, there we go. All right, if you can see my screen, please give me a quick thumbs up. Excellent. All right, so Google is where every business's strategy needs to start, as far as, you know, we have a website, we have our social media, we have you know, software, a whole range of things, digital assets that we essentially are putting together to get our businesses found online. But 95% of the world or more are using Google on a daily basis with their businesses, for personal use. Doesn't matter. If you're not on Google, you're not going to necessarily get found. So we want to make sure that you're utilizing everything within Google to help you grow your business. And the best part about it, for the basic tools that you can set up and basically kick butt on Google ranking search engine pages, it's free. You can utilize as much of the apps and softwares that you've got within Google as part of your Google digital strategy, and it's not going to cost you anything unless you get into paid advertising, or potentially you need hosting and things like that. But for the most part, you can have a pretty powerful digital strategy, and it's not going to cost you anything. You don't need to give Google a cent. I thought we might start off with illuminating the depths of Google. Okay, so Google is huge. You have no idea. Even I go in and go, oh wow, I didn't know that one existed. You know, what's that? What does it do? And they're always coming up with new ideas, new programs, new tools that we can use. Now, this is just part one of the tools that are open to the public. Now, I can pretty much confidently say that I have looked and used about 95% of what's on that screen. Is there anything there that anyone can see is new to them?
Can I ask, Katrina, how did you get there?
How did I get there? I
did all those.
Googled Google Apps.
Thank you.
So this is essentially, you know, part of the major Google homepage for the business, not just the search engine itself. But is there anything there that, I mean, Jamin, is there anything there you haven't seen before?
Sorry, no.
No. Okay. Nicole, is there anything there you haven't seen before?
Probably a good 2/3.
2/3. Nice. David?
Yeah, I've probably seen most of them, but I haven't used them. So even though I've glanced over it, and I could probably guess what some of them are. You know, they're similar to other tools that we might have used outside of Google. It looks like they're taking over the world.
Yeah. All right. Well, the key ones here obviously are the Google Apps for Work, which is your Google Docs, your Google Forms, very powerful with websites. You've got your Google Contacts. Believe it or not, you change your phone, and if it's a Samsung, for example, I think you can even do that with Apple phones these days. You can have Google add-ins, but with your Google Contacts saved on your phone, when you start your phone up, you can save it to your Google Contacts as the app, or you can save it to the phone itself. But if you save it to the Google Contacts app, you will never lose your contacts. So it's not like you have to migrate your entire phone data to the next one. You just start it up and sign in and everything is there. Saves you at least a couple of hours in transferring the phone data. So smart devices, smart applications. Your Google Calendar integrates with so many things these days, within websites and automations, your Zoom calendars, Zoom integrations. You've got obviously your Gmail, and that was something that Jamin had mentioned earlier today. If you want to elaborate, Jamin, with regards to G Suite.
Yes, so the Google G Suite, or what they now call workspaces. So if it's so if you're using your domain or your website name, so for example, kinetics.com.au as a workspace, they're actually going to be a paid workspace come June. I think I've already got a link I can pop in there with all the details and changes. But effectively, if you're using it from a business point of view in that workspace scenario, you're going to start being charged per month. And the pricing is very, very similar to Office 365, or now called Microsoft 365. So it's going to be around $7 something per month. Per user, which is an email address. And of course, that gives you access to all of the different things like Drive, OneDrive, all of the workspace stuff that you basically are looking at here. But collaborative tools within your workspace that you can share within your organization. So Google is sort of broken up into two areas where you've got your personal stuff and then you've got your collaborative tools, which is your business stuff. Under what they call your domain. Does it sort of make sense?
Hey, Jamin, just a question on that, and you might know the answer to that, is does that include giving you additional space with Drive or anything like that, or is that separate in itself?
Yes, so OneDrive is a very similar product to, I should say Google Drive, OneDrive, so many different products there. So that comes with the workspace space when you're paying for it per user, and you can actually buy it like add-ons for additional space. So very, very similar to the way that others work. And it's normally on a organization-wide scenario when you're paying for that workspace.
Yeah, it does give you, I think, added space than more than a personal account, for example. But you can, there you go, you can add drive storage for those who need more than 30 gigabytes of storage on your drive. And it gives you other stuff like the Google Vault, which essentially allows you to have e-discovery tools for, data forensics even, and archiving tools, things like that. So.
And permissions, which is probably the important thing from a business. So you can share files externally to your company on one document or a drive or a folder, as it were. So you can share that across multiple people, and within your organization, you can lock it down so that only you can view it.
And if they don't have, or an employee leaves your business and they no longer have access to the email, you can control their access at the click of a button, kind of thing as well. So, and it stops any access. So if they've saved that file somewhere, they stop getting access to that, because it's essentially a link to it. Okay, so coming back to the depths of Google, we've got so many applications. Google is just incredibly powerful. There's a couple of things in here that I guess I've tried only recently. For example, I didn't even know that they had YouTube Kids until, my daughter wants to watch Coco Melon on my phone, and I don't want anything random to come up. So to protect your kids' viewing practices and only have children safe programs, you've got YouTube Kids, which is really cool. And it works with your, I think, what is it, Samsung Kids app as well. You can integrate them as well and just keep them safe. But as far as, you know, adding more value there for your business, the biggest thing about Google is local SEO. So actually showing up on Google Maps. So one of the things that is new late last year and being introduced this year is that you'll notice that Google My Business is now no longer called Google My Business. It's actually transitioning to Google Business Profile. So basically you can manage all of your, not just one Google My Business listing, but all of your locations, your business locations within one business profile. So you sign in and you've got, say, 3 locations or 4 locations for your business, franchise even, you've got complete control, and it just makes it a lot faster to update information within the Google Business Profile. There's your Google Workspace that Jamin was talking about there. One thing that keeps getting overlooked is your Google Search Console. I'm sure most of you already are aware of Google Analytics if you don't already have it set up to get data from your website. Very simple to set up by placing a line of code into your website or making some changes on your DNS. But your Google Search Console is something slightly different to analytics, where analytics is kind of a catch-all. So whether it's your website traffic coming through from Google, coming through from social media, coming through from direct entry of your URL into the address bar, or whether they're being referred to from a backlink or another partner website of yours, a colleague's website, for example. So that all of that data is being thrown into Google Analytics. And while it's powerful, you need potentially some patience to go through and play with it or get a Google specialist like myself to help you debunk the data, break it down, and utilize the numbers in there to help you make smart decisions about your SEO, your content, the structure of your website, how your branding is working, what's working and what's not, that sort of thing. But Google Search Console down here on the bottom right is just your organic data. And the very cool aspect of Google Search Console, and it really is, it's probably one of the most sexiest programs inside the Google suite, as I guess we can refer to it, because it gives you all of the search terms that your website is actually generating a search result for when people are searching in Google. So if you're showing up for people searching for your business name, it'll tell you that you're showing up. So it'll show you that keyword. There's some, I'll take you a walk through Google Search Console at some point, but just wanting to let you know, it's very simple to set up like your analytics, but it is an incredibly powerful organic data tool. So while analytics will include your paid data as well as your social, your referrals, everything, this is just Google search. This is everything to do with how you are showing up on Google search. Google Data Studio is another interesting one. If you're really wanting to know whether it's working for you, if you want to know, is the what is the data actually saying? Is it making you money when you getting the website traffic through? Is it getting you the right traffic? You know, do you want to be able to pair the organic data with your paid marketing, for example, all in one spreadsheet and really help the data to tell a story? So Google Data Studio, which is this is just one of the many templates that you can throw together with Google Data Studio. So you can link it through to Google Ads, to Google Analytics, as a multitude of data that you can feed through and show customized dashboards of the performance for your digital strategy, your Google strategy. So very cool. All right, so getting back to Google My Business or Google Maps, essentially. So what can you do with your Google My Business listing? Not only can you get found on Google search when someone tries to find a product or service online, or potentially, you know, getting their phone out and going, okay, Google, find a plumber near me, and my phone is now reacting to that. I found a few plumber. Bit scary sometimes, but essentially you want to be found in that moment of need. So Google My Business listings need to be optimized, not just created, but they need to be optimized. So this means utilizing keywords. I think, Laurie, did you mention keywords? No,
it was
Melanie.
Yes.
Thank you. So Keywords Everywhere is a really cool plugin for Google Chrome and gives you a ton of data. I'm sure you might be able to go back to one of our previous episodes. You'll find it. Actually, Carly, if you can find out the week we did it, we can send her the link to the video to have a look at Keywords Everywhere.
Yep.
Or just have a bit of an explore as well, Melanie. Lots of stuff in there, have fun. But as far as where you would actually put your keyword data, it's where you've got your description, your business description. It gives you up to 700 characters to make use of. And while, yes, that information will help your clients when they go to your business listing, you're writing it for Google. You're not necessarily writing it for a client to convert. So keep in mind that you want that content to be valuable for Google to know exactly what you do. So you use those keywords in that content to help them find you. And you can add, so what you can see here, we'll come back to the SEO element, but you can see a few things here that that is visible to the end user. So they can call you directly from this listing. They can follow your feed. So this is your post on Google My Business. They can get directions to your business. They can message you directly. Now, this actually physically has to be set up in the back end of your Google My Business listing, and you need to have the app on your phone. If you can see on the right here, you've got a screenshot of what it would look like on your phone. So you physically have to set it up and accept, like go through the settings and accept messages on your phone from your listing. So not a lot of people actually know that you've got to go through that process to get messages, to get contacted from your Google My Business listing. So make sure you go through and set that up and make sure that your website is up to date. The link works, test them, give yourself a call. It doesn't cost anything from your Google My Business listing. However, if you click on a call ad, you are charging yourself. If you click on your own Google ad, doesn't matter if you're logged in under your own account, do not click on your Google ads. You will charge yourself. Don't do that. Worst thing. I do believe I had someone tell me that they tested it every day when they were starting out because they weren't sure it was working. And they were like, but I'm getting paid. I'm having to pay. And I'm like, you're doing that yourself, dear. It was hilarious. But yeah, it is a mistake that is quite common. Please do not click on your ads, but your Google My Business listing doesn't cost you. So yes, you can test it, give a call. This is a quick look at Google Analytics, and this has actually undergone some changes as well, because Google Analytics gives you everything across all of your web presence. So your socials, as I said before, your website, direct traffic from people typing in the URL, from colleagues' websites, from paid advertising, as well as organic search. Everything is in here, all of your data. On the left here, you've got an immense number of menu items that just break everything apart. Some of them you have to activate, others that are already there, you just need to kind of go in and click and play and find out how the what's actually happening in the background. But this is actually the legacy version now for Google Analytics. Last year, they had released the GA4, Google Analytics 4, which is a brand new approach to data. So what you'll see, the biggest difference here is with the old version, you've got a bounce rate. Not a lot of people understood what a bounce rate meant. It was like, oh, what's that? When they come in and they leave straight away because there's no value. That's what a bounce is. They've come in, no, I'm gone. That's what the bounce rate is. So now they're focused on engagement. Okay, so this is average engagement time. So how long are they spending on the website? So the bounce rate is no longer, that's been thrown out with dishwater, because what we want to know is how long they're actually staying on there. We don't necessarily want to know who's coming and pissing off. Oops, pardon my language. But engaging with your website or engaging with the content tells you how much value is there for them when they come in. Now, this is the sexy application program that I told you about, Google Search Console. And you've got all your organic data, your clicks, your impressions. What is an impression? This is every time someone searches and your website link shows up in Google. That's an impression. Doesn't matter if they clicked on it or not, just when it shows up in the search results. Then you've got your click-through rate. This is basically a calculation between your clicks versus impressions. So I wouldn't worry too much about this number. What you want to see is this number increasing and obviously your clicks coming through increasing. And your average position, now this can fluctuate quite often, especially if you've got an aggressive SEO strategy, content creation strategy in place, whereby you are constantly adding in new value and you're constantly adding in new keywords and phrases, keeping in mind that each page you create on your website should have a unique keyword. Not a lot of people understand that, because if you have the same keyword for 10 pages, you're competing against yourself. There's no real system in place as far as structuring your website to be an authority on that, because it's kind of just like repetition. So it's important to have an SEO strategy, content creation strategy, and you're utilizing long tail keywords, which basically means more than 2 or 3 words in your title. So Google Search Console, very cool. You've got all of your data under here. And Melanie, I think I mentioned keywords everywhere before. This data here, the volume, CPC, competition, and trend, this is additional data, which I'll probably explore in another topic later this year. But this is added in there because of that plugin, keywords everywhere. Normally, you only get clicks, impressions, click-through rate, and position with your list of queries down the side here. So the list of queries is what people are actually putting into Google to find you, where you're coming up. Okay, so naturally you can click on any of these titles and it will reorder the table like Excel, and you can, but it's just a click of a button and you can see, you know, where most of the clicks are coming from, what you're showing up for the most, and how many positions from the top are you. Okay, so it's kind of like a decrease. So you want to obviously be, you know, position 1 says that you're at the top. Anything lower than that is, you know, going further down. So on average, you're looking at about, depending on what the search topic is, how many ads there are that's going to fill up the space, usually around 8 to 12, depending on the search term and the competition, will be the first page. Anything low, any number higher than that, and you've moved down the ranks onto page 2, 3, and more than that. So Google My Business adds to your organic data, organic traffic. The app I told you about can be found on Google Play or the Apple App Store. Don't forget that it's no longer called Google My Business, it's Google Business Profile, which basically means that you can manage multiple locations, or what used to be multiple listings are now combined into one profile with various locations under that one main profile. So make sure you go in and start managing your Google profile, business profile today, so that you can, one, also see the data from your Google My Business listing on its own through the application on your phone. So how many people have actually clicked through to your website, asked for directions, how many people have followed your listing, and how many bookings have been made. So those bookings are actually created with the button. So you can change your button to either a call now button or a book now button or visit website. It's up to you what's considered a conversion from Google My Business listing. And it will tell you as well how many searches you showed up in as well. So just having a look at that whole, new Google Business Profile. This is another add-in here. You can actually manage your business. So long as you're signed in as your account, you can manage it straight from Google Search. So you search for your business and you can click here, edit profile, and it just pops up a window and you can start typing in and making changes rather than having to go through and log into your, physically go into the Google Business Profile itself. You can just Google and change the things here, and you can see obviously how it appears on Google. So just to test the theory of what it looks like now, and I literally did these right before the toolkit. So I looked for coffee. What's the first thing that you would look for, I guess, if you're out waiting for a meeting or on your way to a meeting? Where's the nearest cafe? So it came up. It shows that it's utilizing user preferences, which is interesting. All right, so based on my previous reviews, click through on Google Business listings or map listings, 55% match that I would actually go there. And I think that probably, it considers the reviews, the distance, a lot of things that go into that calculation as well. But you've got access to not just the listing, but when you click through on the listing to find out more, you might do this if you're looking at a hotel location or looking for a venue for a function, for example, you want to see the pictures. So you click through and you can see, what's the overview. So it's all the information you put into your profile. Updates is interesting. I'll show you that one on the next page. You can add your menu. You can people can look at your reviews. I know that I'll check reviews for probably 7 times out of 10, if not 9, for any businesses that I find on Google, and also your photos as well. So you can, but it will show all of your photos in that section. Having a look at the toolkit, the digital toolkit on Google, this is where I wanted to show you or demonstrate the updates. And this also adds to your SEO and helping you increase your visibility. So if you've got a blog article on your website, push it through, create a summary of it, and pop it in Google My Business with a read more link. And what it does is it's like publishing your blog to another website. It gives you another listing, and you can have a CTA there as well, a button that obviously, you know, if it's the whole point is to get a meeting booked or to sell a book, for example, you can add it in there. You've got a range of options, and not only it gives you another marketing tool, very powerful marketing tool, because it's built by Google for Google users and primarily focused on local SEO. Okay, so helping you get found locally. And if you'd like to find out more on how to improve your local SEO, go to Ranking Australia and read our latest blog on Google ranking. And that's it from me. Questions?
One from me. As a service-based business that I work virtually and I don't have a home location and I don't want people to know where I live, how is that useful for me?
It is more than okay not to show your address to the public. You still need to add your address to, like you do to apply for a driver's license or fill out a form for an account at the local RSL, for example, or whatever. But what you do is it gives you an option to hide your location from customers. So what happens is you can choose whether you want to, if you have a store location. If you don't have a store location, then it will give you, you can put a service area in. And what it does is it draws a line around your service area, or depending on how you set it up, or it drops a pin in the center, in the CBD, Central Business District, of that location postcode. But great question.
I'd like to add something that's really good for Google My Business as well, and that is putting your social media posts on there. What it does is that Google has a look at it and says, oh, this profile is being updated all the time. So it also keeps it current.
It does, definitely. Thanks, Kay.
Yeah, probably my tip on it is the images. Google, there's actually a formula. They like to see a number of images. Say if you've actually got an office and you're a retail store or whatever, they want to see a number of images of your office space that actually looks legitimate, because Google's all about relevancy. It's all about local. So if you're relevant and the content that you have on your Google space matches images, for example, your external images and your internal images that you take, you'll actually improve your Google ranking within that space. You can also improve your ranking if you get a Google certified videographer. So if you do a video of your premise and they're actually being Google certified, that video ranks higher than if you just took a video and then uploaded it to your Google workspace. So there's a number of little tricky things you can do within that are really easy to do, just particularly with images. Even if you don't have a workspace, just take some images of what you do, but they're real images. They're of you and your people, your staff, or whatever it may be. Don't just take stock images, because Google knows. They've got an algorithm that searches across and knows that these images are from whatever stock facility.
Mm-hmm. Definitely very valuable, Jamin. Thank you. All right. Well, is there any questions? Any other questions? Or David, did you want to add anything there before we close up for the day?
Probably just, I think a few people have mentioned it. Just keep your listing up to date, and as Jamin said there, video content or any sort of content and links to your other social platforms really helps. So yeah, look, I think the algorithm's changing all the time, isn't it, Katrina? So you sort of you probably need to get in there every couple of months and just change something or update something just to make sure you stay relevant.
Definitely.
Quick question.
guys. Oh, you've got a question, Laurie?
Yeah, quick question. Just to kind of a follow up on the working from home. I'm in that situation as well, but certainly the reach for my business is Australia wide. So is it good to try to reach out to Australia wide, or really just kind of focus on my local neighborhood area, even though I'm not using an address, obviously, since I work from home?
Well, that's a great question, Laurie. So I guess, what's more important? Are you wanting people to find you locally? Is that more important? Or is it you want to get noticed nationally? So
is there a downside either way, or an upside one way or the other? Or is it just a matter of a marketing strategy?
I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, really, because I noticed immediately when I had a pin drop in Brisbane CBD that I was shown up locally. So, but I will show up for those who are, how do you say, within a certain kilometer radius, if you like, with the Google My Business pin drop. But with the service area, you're also going up against others that are on that same level as well. So my suggestion to you would be that you pair it with really strong content strategy that focuses on your local area. And if you are delivering on an Australian-wide basis, then I would have an Australian-wide service area.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.
I do have a quick question. I want to know, was the link sent to me or was it sent through my email of the keywords that you guys were discussing?
Right. The keywords video, it will be in the Facebook, on the Facebook page. So
okay, great.
I'm not sure if that is in the chat. I haven't had a chance to read it, but if you'd like to make sure that you subscribe to the Digital Toolkit website, I'll have your email to send it through to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No worries. So once again,
just one other thing. I know a lot of people have actually been getting updates from Google recently. They seem to be doing a bit of a flow through checking addresses and checking, especially if you've got multiple business addresses. I know a couple of clients have actually got messages from Google asking them to update things, a bit like Facebook does. Mm-hmm. Just make sure you do something with them. Don't just ignore them. Check that check that what they're asking you to change or what they're going to change is actually right. Because if they just bloody change something and it's wrong, then you might find that you disappear. So yeah, just keep an eye on it.
They do. They whatever they're suggesting, if you haven't said yes or no or altered what they're suggesting, it just basically overwrites everything that's there. So.
And double check the email though, because we have seen a number of them that come through as scammed emails. So just verify and really make sure before you do click on some things, you're just double checking the information that's there. That's my tip on that one, because we have seen a few come through. So
yeah, definitely. I think just as a general rule, whenever there's anything that you're essentially a member of, go directly to your browser and type it in rather than clicking on the emails. So brilliant session, guys. Please do, if you have any more questions with regards to Google My Business listing, I do have a Google ranking quiz on Ranking Australia, which will give you a score of how well you're actually progressing with your Google strategy. And at the end of that, you get rewarded with a free Google My Business checkup. So please do make use of that. And I will sign off for today. It's been a brilliant session. So goodbye for now. And I will see you next week for Digital Toolkit 2022. Bring your questions. See you guys. Thanks a lot.